Fromania bricks, and welcome back to the world's fanciest LEGO recording studio in our house on the second floor.
In this room.
This is LEGO set 75222 Betrayal at Cloud City, and it is about to face off against Fromania bricks SPUPLR as we take a look at this set and leave you with the end-all, be-all, scientific, proven rating for Betrayal at Cloud City. Is this LEGO set still on shelves? It is not. Can you still buy it? You can. And today, you're going to find out, is this one you should add to your collection? But before we find any of that out, Micah, I've got a couple of questions for you. Do you know, Micah, what you call an invisible droid?
What?
C-3PO.
What's good?
What did Obi-Wan say at the rodeo?
What?
Use the horse, Luke. What is the most popular Star Wars movie in Italy?
I don't know.
The Phantom Menace. What do you call a bird of prey with 1,000 lives?
What?
Millennium Falcon.
That one's good.
What's even better than those terrible jokes is Star Wars Betrayal at Cloud City. Not to be confused with the original LEGO Cloud City. This was LEGO optimizing on the Cloud City craze and coming out with an even bigger Cloud City. But this one is about doom, despair, and betrayal. The Betrayal at Cloud City. What year was this LEGO set on shelves, Micah?
2018 to end of 2019. So you could say the first of 2020, but it technically retired to end of 2019.
So this is a relatively new set. It's not as old as I felt like it should be. What did it retail for when it was on shelves?
$350, which is probably, I would imagine, closer to $400 in today's money, because the Cantina was $350 and they upped it to $400.
So in essence, I mean, we got to go on the $350, but this is almost a $400 LEGO set.
Yeah, I would imagine, because they did that with the Cantina.
But this is no longer a $350 LEGO set.
Yeah, I wish it cost $300.
What? Give me just, we won't talk about what we paid for this, but what are used price ranges on this? If you want a used complete set, what price range are we looking at?
Don't quote me on this, but just looking at prices. Used, you're looking at probably $800 to $900, maybe $950. And then new, you're looking at like the $900 to $1,300 range.
So you're talking between car payment and mortgage payment. Yeah. This one LEGO set. That's huge.
I got mine with the box open, but the bag sealed and the inner box sealed. And it was for a good price. It wasn't a bargain, but it was a good price.
It was below used price average.
Yeah, it was below the current used price.
Yeah, so great deal on this set. We're a little dusty in here.
I need to dust it. We have a LEGO vacuum.
If anyone has an end-all, be-all solution to dust in Legos other than don't live in the house,
that's a good one.
We'd love your recommendations. We've got the little vacuums and we've got little dusters, but man, either we're really dirty people or our LEGO really likes dust. And we are not dirty people because your mommy is amazing at keeping a clean house. But the dust just has a gravitas towards LEGO. And I think we all feel the same pain. So today we're SPUPLRing this. What is SPUPLR, you ask? This is Fromania Bricks' super proprietary, ultra precise LEGO Review System. It is the most scientific LEGO Review System you will ever find on our LEGO channel. It will give you a precise score. You will know, is this set worth it? There's a maximum of 50 points on the line today, Micah. 50 for this set. Each category of the 5 that we look at has a potential for 10. Where do you think it's going to land?
I don't know. Some categories it'll do better than others, but I think it'll do pretty good.
All right, so we're looking for a pretty good in the 30s. You think we're going to tip into the 40s
I hope it
today?
Gets 40s, because it's a great set.
So let's jump in and SPUPLR the LEGO
Betrayal at Cloud City, which I want to shout out to LEGO. It's funny they named it that, and it's cool and creative they called it Betrayal at Cloud City, because normally you don't have like a word like it. It's just like Cloud City.
Oh,
or
you're
TIE Fighter,
right.
Or Death Star. It's not like so.
Yeah, it's not like fun with the fair or
Yeah.
something. Like to have a word in there that describes what's going on.
Yeah, it is cool. I like it.
Do you think they did that to differentiate from the other Cloud City?
Possibly.
I mean, there are other duplicate
Probably.
sets
I
that
bet you
have
there's
come
a
out.
lot of sets that are just X-Wing or TIE Fighter. So.
Yeah, you're right. Betrayal at Cloud City.
But maybe because Cloud City is so iconic and valuable, they wanted to change it. But
Golf clap for LEGO.
I say it gets a bonus half point for that.
A bonus half point. At the end, when we tally our scores, we're going to give it a bonus half point because LEGO, you put betrayal in it. And not only did you put a descriptor, you put kind of an edgy descriptor in there. So, well done. First category we look at is the visual aesthetic of the set. Do we think that it captures what it was supposed to capture? When you look at it, do you feel good? Or are you like, what am I looking at? So, there is indeed a lot to look at. I mean, Micah, run me through all these rooms.
Yeah, so this I think is just a lobby. I honestly don't know what this room is. This is like a little lounge that they put them in. Dining room, carbon freezing chamber, place where Luke and Vader dueled. This is the area where they took apart C-3PO and Chewie was trying to save him. Torture chamber, just general area, cloud car landing area, and landing pad / entrance.
So, kind of like the Death Star, it's like different
Yes.
iconic scenes that are positioned around. But what feels different is you've got like the duel area here, right next to Carbonite, and I would imagine this wouldn't have been open air next to the duel area. So it is kind of interesting from a layout perspective as well, but there is a lot going on here. So how do you feel about the visual look of this?
I've heard it get dinged up pretty bad by people for visual design. Some of those critiques I agree are valid, but I don't think it's quite as bad as people say it is. There's some areas that definitely feel like they need to be fleshed out more. Say the dining room is one of those. This area, I really wish they built out more.
Oh, see, I feel like the dining room is better than the lobby.
But it does look... Oh, yeah, the lobby could use some work. But the entrance facade is really nice. I really love how the red area looks. The carbon freezing chamber by itself, I wish they did more, but it looks nice. The ships are also really well done. The cloud car is amazing.
Yeah, when you compare that to the original cloud car, I'm actually happy. So is this minifig scale? Can a minifig go in it?
Squeeze a guy in there. It's impressive.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Slave 1 looks really nice, too. Don't look at back, because it's designed to fit. Han, the carbonite block actually fits into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, based on the Slave 1s that I've seen, that's actually a really good one, considering it was a side build for a set. I am with you in that I'm not super critical, but I do feel like it could be fleshed out a little bit more. It does feel kind of skeletal, right? If you think about like a skeletal structure of a building, when I look at it, it feels skeletal. But how else do you take all of these scenes and cram them together?
I want to give to its credit. The set is advertised same way as the Cantina as Master Builder series. Also, the box is beautiful.
Yeah, the box makes the set look cooler.
Yeah.
Like, big win for the box art, for sure.
It's advertised as Master Builder Series. I think it's on the box. I know it is that. I don't see it on the box. I don't know. But it's just kind of the median between a play set and a UCS set, which is just hard. I think they, as best as they could combine playability and displayability, they did good. I like that it's not covered, that way you display all the scenes. So for visual design, I give it a 7. You can set up all the good, cool scenes here. They even give you multiple different versions of the same character for some of them to be able to do different scenes. I think they did good for what it is. It's just a challenging format.
And I will say from a visual perspective, right now all of the figs are in your case over here.
Yeah.
When the figs are actually bringing life to it, it becomes even more visually interesting than just a skeletal building. Next up is build experience. Now, a lot of times with older retired sets, we don't really get an authentic build experience the way LEGO designed it to be, right? A lot of times we're breaking the set down and rebuilding it. This, you got retired, but you got a legit, authentic LEGO build experience because all of the bags were still sealed when you got it. So when we talk about build experience, there's a couple of things that we're talking about. Was it a fun build? Was there a lot of repetition, or was it actually a fun, interesting build? Were there neat, interesting techniques, or was it pretty simple? And were the instructions clear? Like, could you look at the instructions and, like, could I build it looking at the instructions? That's actually the bar that we set. Do I have the ability to build this set? So talk to me a little bit about the build experience with this, Micah, because I had nothing to do with it.
I can tell you it is a very compelling build because it's not like you're building the same thing over and over again. I personally love building nice sturdy bases, and you get to build that with this. And there's a lot of variety. You get to build different things the whole time, and you get to vehicles to break up the build.
Yeah, I mean, the only repetition I see are these 4 pieces. There is some, like, blockiness on the bottom that builds up a sturdy base.
But it's not repetitive. It's quick.
Okay. And how about, like, techniques? Do you remember anything that stood out, or was it...
I don't remember any crazy
This
technique.
is kind of neat. Like, this technique,
that is neat.
how these are, they clip it on the side to create the angle. Like, not gonna lie, that's kind of an interesting technique that's a part of it. A little bit of grabling on the top, which feels fun. I don't know if it's supposed to represent anything.
Well, there is. I think there was little things like that on the top of the actual Cloud City. So they're just kind of trying to do that. They're trying. This is the general shape that Cloud City as a whole was, with that kind of slant, gentle incline, and then something up top. And they did that, but they didn't panel it over.
Now, you've built a lot of Boba spaceships.
Yeah, I have almost all of them.
So how did this size up building this? Was it basically the same build experience?
It's different because... So they released one at this scale in, I think, 2021 for 22, I guess. I imagine. Is the only ever time they've done... Oh, they also did one in, like, 2000 at this scale. Then they went to the bigger scale, like the size of the Django Slave one, and the newer playsets. Then they did this, and I like the smaller scale. I think it's neat.
What about stickers? Were there many stickers in this build?
2 sticker sheets. There's a lot of stickers.
A lot of stickers. Do you feel that was okay, or do you feel like they could have been
I feel
prints?
like there's some places that they would have been nice if they didn't rely on stickers. When you look at the part count, oh my gosh, I have a UK box, so it was like 2,800 something.
That's right, because this came from Europe.
Yeah,
actually.
It came from Europe, so I don't have a part count on my box. It was in the 2,800, and it cost $350. So I wish maybe you had to raise the price a little. They did more brick built details. I just think that would have been nice, but...
And this is a fun fact, if you are an American viewer, that if you buy sets in the UK or in different areas in Europe, there is no part count on the box. That is a US thing. And this is interesting. Everything is tiled off except for certain areas of studs.
Oh, over here there's a lot of studs, too.
So,
I wish they tiled it
that's
off.
Fascinating. Have you ever considered tiling it off, or are you like, that then makes it impure?
Yeah, I can't stand anything that's, like, made impure in that way. But it would look nicer. But I like I collect, so I enjoy having it, like, the way it was.
Alright, so where are we scoring this on our build experience?
Build experience? There's no repetition, really. I mean, little bits, but not... much repetition. You get variety, but there wasn't a ton of crazy techniques, so I'll give it a 9. I mean, that's the only thing you really lacked. It was a great build experience.
9. I didn't see a 9 coming. Alright. Next up, minifigures. Minifigures are a big part of our discussion. This set had 20 minifigures, 21 counting the carbonite, which that's more of a block than a fig, but we'll give it to him. There's a fig outline in it. Talk to us about them. Run me through real quick who we're looking at, and then we'll have a little bit of a conversation about how we rate these guys.
Han Solo, Prisoner Han, 2 Stormtroopers, Chewbacca, C-3PO, Princess Leia, dual molded legs Han, who's exclusive, Boba Fett, IG-88, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, Never Princess Leia, Lando Calrissian, Lobot, Ugnaught, 2 Cloud Car pilots, 2 Bespin guards.
That's a lot of figs going on.
And it's pretty on par, if not better. I think the Death Star playset was like 25. Cantina was 20-something. Ewok Village was like 17. The Hoth set, I think, was only 15. So it's on par, if not a little bit better of an average for playset fig count.
Do you feel that there were any glaring omissions of characters from Cloud City?
No. But I do think...
I do believe Jar Jar should have been in this.
Jar Jar wasn't in Cloud City.
I didn't say he was. I just felt he should have been in this.
I do wish, though, they gave what it needed to be given. The one thing I could name that I wish was that they gave maybe another Ugnaught or two.
What is an Ugnaught?
The little pig guys. Remember the guy in The Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah. So do they inhabit Cloud City then?
I mean, there's a lot of them working there. I don't think it's their home world because it's like a gas planet.
Right. So is the Ugnaught an expensive fig?
He's like the cheapest US listing. Now, to be fair, it was new. Was like $40.
It seems like a good amount of figs for a set this size. Do you feel like numerically we're at a good number?
It feels good. Yeah. 7 are exclusive, although 2 of those aren't. Boba Fett has an angry clone head. Only time he came in this configuration. So standard head, the torso only came in this and the UCS Slave one, and just all basic Boba Fett parts. So he's still really expensive, but he's technically not exclusive.
Okay.
One of the Bespin guards is just a configuration that only came in this, but he's not exclusive because you can get the parts elsewhere. So the 5 real exclusive ones are Han, who's worth like 120, because his legs are dual molded and printed on the side. They're really cool.
So he carries a significant portion of the price
Leia
of this set.
is like 110. She's exclusive. Boba's 75, and he's not even exclusive.
So honestly, a lot of the value of this is found in the figs.
Lobot's like 20. He's exclusive. Lando's like 200, and he's exclusive.
Because I guess apart from the sticker sheet, there's not a lot exclusive here.
No.
So the value then is really wrapped up in the figs.
Stickers are only worth like $20.
Oh,
too.
wow.
20,
so the
$30.
figs are carrying the weight on this one.
At the box, you can get a box. It's really damaged, but you can get one on Bricklink right now for $25. I think the instructions are worth about that too.
All right. Well, where are we going to score the figs at today?
Figs are pretty much perfect. I give it a 9.5 because I wanted another Ugnaught. I'm docking.
Yeah, you do have to dock. But you know what? There's a bonus 0.5 coming later. So 9.5 for the figs, but there is a bonus 0.5 coming later on. All right, next up is playability and functions. Now, I know you said this is part of the Master Builder collection, which kind of bridges the gap between UCS, which is, hey, this is to build and display, and a true play set. And I know a lot of people that are paying the prices that they're paying for this now, they're not buying that to play with their child, right? They're buying it to store it and collect it.
Yeah,
But there are some AFOLs out there, like me, and like you, which you're almost an AFOL. Like, you are this close to an AFOL. From a maturity standpoint, from a knowledge standpoint, you've already matured into AFOL. From an age standpoint, you are inching so close to being an authentic AFOL. Even us AFOLs like to play with a Lego set from time to time.
On a couple times.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Because I like to play with my Lego too from time to time. So let's talk about this set. How is the playability with it? Are there any interesting, unique functions that I wouldn't have expected
grab
in
the
it?
popcorn. It's going to take a while.
Whoa!
These doors raise, which is nice. This slides. The door into the torture chamber slides. This door slides.
Okay.
So I appreciate that. That's automatically a plus. They took the time to make the doors and make them nice. That's a win. There's a lot of room too for imaginative play places to lots of little clips. Well, some little clips around for accessories, seats, places to move figures around, stuff like that that's not play functions. I just discovered, I entirely forgot, there's a jail cell in here, a bed that folds out, and then you can stick Han on the torture chair and press him forward. Can't believe that's a children's toy, but...
It's a betrayal set, Micah.
Slave one, like I said, you can put Han in there, the little wings tilt, which is nice.
And we talk about swooshability a lot. This is official.
And it can swoosh. It doesn't fly like that, though. It flies... Oh!
It's swooshable.
And the disappointing thing with it is it doesn't have a rotating seat for Boba because of the size, but you can put him in there both ways. You just have to move him manually. The carbon chamber is cool. I actually want to grab the Han so that you get the full effect.
So you put Han on there.
And then you pull the lever and it just goes real quick and seamless.
Look at that.
It's technically, like in the movie, it's like he slowly, dramatically drops down.
Well, I can slowly do it. I can slowly.
Then you see him in the block at once.
Oh.
But for what I think it's great function. Doesn't necessarily count as a play function, but if you pull, there's a rail somewhere, right here. You pull it off and this swings out. I don't know where else you would talk about that.
Oh, okay. So that does separate it from this, which I think is needed.
And yeah, this comes off. Landing pad comes off. It gives you a lot of creative if you want to play around, put it different, or for displayability, honestly.
So this doesn't actually attach. This is free sitting
there. So if you pick it up, if you go to pick it up, yours are just going to stay. They're not going to fall off. They're just going to stay.
Ah, okay. So they're not all fixed.
I mean, it's kind of genius because you can never... It'd be incredibly hard to actually support this big landing pad.
Right.
You'd have to devote a lot of technique and stuff.
Is this swooshable too?
Yeah, yeah. And you can fit 2 guys in it, which is great.
Alright.
You even have the little conveyor belt that you can kind of take C-3PO apart on and pretend to roll him down. Lots of I think they did good. Oh, and you can clip Luke on. Like and do the scene, I am your father.
So there's a lot to play with here.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than just display going on. So where are we scoring this at on playability and functions?
Probably an 8.5. I think it would have been nice if they maybe added 1 or 2 other functions, but
8.5.
No, I had 9.
9.
9.
Oh.
There's not a ton more they could have done, but something else.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be in the running with the Battle Bus for one of our top sets yet. Last up is value. Not just price per part and how it measures to other price per parts, but do you feel good when you buy it? Micah, when I look at some of the sets in my collection, knowing what I paid for them, I'm like, I'm so happy I had it. When I look at some other sets in the collection and I know what I paid for it, I'm like, and I need to get rid of it because it was just too much money. So value is that. Like, how do you feel about what you paid for it? It's a little different on a retired set. We're trying to look at this through the lens of a retail set if we bought it at retail. Though, even as a retired set, we're looking at it through that lens too. What do you feel about the value of this set?
So, I'll talk about retail, then I'll talk about retire. Yeah. $350, given what you get, if you're buying it to play with, or to display at that price, especially considering that's more money now. It's just...
a lot of money.
It's a lot. I feel like... And you had a Death Star, oh my gosh. The new Death Star is what, 500? That's more money, but you got a lot more going on with the Death Star. There was more you could do.
Yeah, and I feel part of why this feels that way is so much brick is used just in building the base.
And it's, if I remember correct, it wasn't received super positively at the time. Because if you're a kid, that's like your whole Christmas for one set. And yeah, there's cool ships, there's areas to play, but it's not... I feel like you get more...
It's not worthy of blowing you away as a one gift if you're getting one thing worth $350.
But I feel like if you're getting... There's other sets that would equal that value you get more out of if you're a kid who wants something to play with. I feel like if you're an adult who wants something to display, you're getting a better display piece from UCF. From like, well, I'm trying to think of it out at the time. Like the Snowspeeder, the Y-Wing, Slave One. Some of those sets...
So it was kind of in an awkward middle.
Yeah, it was in an awkward middle. The designer, it was just a tough task. Like the original Cloud City wasn't meant to be displayed. It was just a play set. This is kind of awkward because it costs a lot of money. But the thing is, if you wanted Leia, a Cloud City Leia, this is it. She came in the original Cloud City and this. Lando, this is the only up-to-date design of Lando since in Cloud City outfit. You have the one that came in Cloud City that's vintage and doesn't look like Lando, and then the re-release. And then those are the only Cloud City Landos. Boba and Han had the extra printing. The figures were great. So, from a value point, if you could look into the future, it was obviously a good decision, because just Lando and Han together are worth now what the set retails for.
So in 2019... this really wasn't worth $350, but in 2024, this is worth 3 times as much money, and the value is there.
Yeah, you're literally almost 4 times now sealed. I was looking, and there's some literally selling for $1,200 to $1,300 because no one wanted it.
Look, I don't think I can pay $350 for this set, Micah. But here, take $1,700 for it now.
Yeah. And now I'll tell you, I I was a kid. I remember sitting in bed looking at the catalog when this came out. And I looked at it and I said...
Back in the good old days?
Back in the good old days, yeah. I remember the catalog. This is a vivid memory. I remember being in bed looking at the catalog and going, man, that's cool. But $350, I don't want that. That's too much money. I gotta get other stuff that's better because it's huge. Where are you gonna put it? And then now, as a collector, it's a great one to have. You get great characters, and it's Cloud City. I got it before I had the original Cloud City.
So, are we going to score this value on then or on now?
I feel like you have to score on both. And if you were...
So then a median of both.
Yeah, I think you get, like... I'd give it,
I'm
like...
nervous.
Oh, man. And I also think it'd be fair to note, at one point, the original Cloud City was closer, maybe even less, than this value. Now the original Cloud City is worth... to 3,000 open.
Alright, Mikey, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to project the score that I think you're going to score on this, and we're going to see if we're in sync here. This is going to tell the world if as a father and son we're operating on the same wavelength, right? Alright, ready? Close your eyes. In 3, 2, 1.
7.5. What did you have? 8. Oh,
so I was stuck between 7 and 8, and I kind of thought 7.5, but I'm like, how am I going to do that? So I went with 8. Okay, so I think we're on the same wavelength.
Here's how I did it. I gave it 6.5 score for value just buying it off the shelf, and I gave it 8.5 score for buying it now from
so you split the difference.
I averaged it.
All right, Micah, the judges have been diligently in the back tapping on calculators and keyboards, and I think we're ready to unveil it. And what a score it is. LEGO Betrayal at Cloud City scored on the SPUPLR score, 42. But, you have given it a bonus 0.5 at the beginning of the session, which means 42.5. The official scientific score of this set out of 50 is 42.5. If you are a LEGO Star Wars collector and the opportunity comes along to add this to your collection, you now know how it stacks up. And it stacks up pretty good.
I want to note, if you're gonna buy it, the way to buy it is the way I did. You find one a little bit more of an open, a little bit less than sealed with the box open and the bag sealed inside. Because when this thing sits out on a shelf, like we saw with mine, it gets dusty.
Yeah, there's so much surface area, it gets really dusty. But I would also say, you found like...
a great deal.
A great deal. Alright, thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for checking out this betrayal of a set. The LEGO Betrayal at Cloud City. We hope you go out there, you give more.
Do more.
Share more.
And love more.
And whatever you do, remember, always show those smiles. Those smiles, they truly are contagious.
Give more, do more, share more, and love.